Good morning, live. Welcome to our let's kickstart our mornings with Deb and Ali, Connected Conversations. And we were preparing very briefly and want to talk about comparison. And at what point in your life have you stopped doing something or you haven't even started because you've been scrolling through TikTok or Instagram and you see someone already doing what you're doing? I know I'm guilty of that. And there are times if I am posting a lot and I start scrolling, then I see other coaches or people, and I'm like, oh, they already do it. And I have to consciously remember that I am a unique, beautiful woman that is intelligent and has something different to offer. And the words that I'm speaking right now, or what I have curated, is going to land to an ideal client or help someone that maybe that person isn't able to, because there's just a vibration and a tone. So I know I have been very guilty of it. And it's a constant movement. And just, I think for myself, it comes back to being confident in what I'm doing and belief in how I can serve the collective. Deb, how do you deal with comparing yourself with people? Has it ever stopped you?
Well, I think I'm guilty of definitely comparing myself. There's social media perpetuates the comparison game. Like, oh, my life is so good. It's so much better than yours. So of course it's incredibly difficult. But I think if you go back to any successful person, that they have obviously not always been to where they are. They had to start somewhere. And I agree with you. I think everybody has a unique voice. There are no two snowflakes that are the same. So there are not two people that are bringing the exact same thing, that are not bringing the exact same energy to whatever it is that you're working towards. So am I guilty of it? Of course. I think then I go back to, like, why am I comparing? Am I comparing myself because I think they're really good at what they do? Can I learn from them? Is there something that they're doing really great that I want to be great at too? So I think I kind of check myself. Why am I comparing? Is it because there's maybe a particular part of me that doesn't feel a strength in their a certain trait that they might have? So yeah, I think I really try and check myself when it comes to comparison, because I obviously that can lead you down to that rabbit hole of never starting anything because somebody else is doing it. You know, there's so many people doing so many things that I want to do, but that doesn't stop me from working towards it and wanting to be as great as they are if they're already successful in it.
I love that. Like, just asking yourself why, like, really, what is the root of it? Because it could be various different things depending on the person. And I think when there's a trigger point, or you can catch yourself in those moments of comparing, and just taking that step back, asking yourself, how come I'm comparing myself? Or what is stopping me from taking that first step of creating the Instagram account or becoming XYZ? Because I think that there's a lot of people that could probably help someone in some form that are just, they haven't even started, maybe, or they've stopped before they even gave themselves the opportunity. And I know, as like a coaching journey, like, there's been so many times where I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And it's that inner why of, like, why am I doing it though? And then also looking at my strengths and what I have to offer, so that I'm not comparing it. Yeah, because of course, like, if I'm going to compare myself, let's pick on Mel Robbins today, because she is a powerful woman. If I'm going to compare
Great.
my journey to, let's say, Mel or Gabby, or like the women that I
Sure.
really like look up to, it's like, okay, they have years of experience and I've learned so much from them, and their messages are all, I think, a little bit different in their own flavor and their own tonality, in their own way that they've presented their brand. And that's, I think, a great learning of, like, how, let's say, Mel Robbins and Gabby Bernstein can have, I don't want to say they're similar, they're exact same messages, though they're inspiring people to move forward in their life in a positive way. And they've both done it in such elegant ways that are authentic to their souls. And that's what you can provide, I can provide, is that branding so that it's not just a copycat message, because no one else can be Mel, no one else can be Ali or Deb. So it's a great opportunity, I think, to also look at like, how do I want to differentiate myself in the market? And how do I want to continue to level up my game and be a little bit more assertive with how I'm presenting myself, and just experiment and have fun with it too. Because there's a lot of fun in just experimenting online and
Well, look at us.
finding a
Look at
voice.
us. Week two of kickstarting YouTube Live, which we've never done before. And our first one was like technological glitches, and we didn't know how to do it, but we did it anyway. And, you know, maybe we'll look back. We will look back on this, and we'll just start laughing. You know, I'm a big Brene Brown fan. You're picking on Mel Robbins and Gabby, but I love Brene Brown. And, you know, you see the early videos of her where she got picked on, and she was, you know, where I specifically know she was wearing this like brown blouse, and she's like, it looked awful, but like, let's be honest, if somebody's judging me, they're probably not even in the arena. They're probably not even trying. So it's not comparing yourself. It's understanding that when you start something new, or when you're really trying to figure out where you're going, you're not going to be perfect the first time, and that's okay. You know, and I think a lot of people also maybe don't start because they think, well, if those people are already there, like there's no room for me. But I was listening to this analogy yesterday. You know, we don't fight over air. You and I don't fight over the air. There's enough for everyone. There's enough air for everyone. There's enough abundance or money or whatever it is you're seeking. There's enough for you. You just have to find it. You just have to align with it. So I think a lot of people don't start as well, not only because they're comparing themselves, but they think it's saturated, but that's just not true.
Yeah, like I think I've said it like in similar forms, like there are literally billions of people on this planet. And you can support someone if this is like a piece of the pie, like you have like 0.0001. And that's enough to grow a business, or enough to share, because I look at some of what I consume and the content I consume or the things that I buy, and imagine if that person just decided, oh, you know what, someone's already doing it, so I'm not going to bother. Like those people made a difference in my life. And for myself, it's going back to like little glimpses. And it's really great when you do get feedback, because people are like, oh, you know what? I still remember that one time you said, I had actually a client, like, I still remember that one time you said that, and I started it and it changed my life. And it's like those moments that sink into my soul. And it's like, keep going, like, just keep going. And so is the YouTube Live with our one viewer. And some days when we have thousands of viewers, they're going to be like, oh, these women, I'm so happy that they were brave and courageous, and they speak their mind, and they just go off the whim on a Monday morning to have this coffee chat with me, because it helps.
Absolutely. Got to start somewhere. There's always going to be somebody doing it. 100%. There's always going to be somebody doing something, or maybe not, or maybe you have this inspired idea and you're just too scared to start. Do it. Whatever that is, do it.
So what has pushed you through those moments where you've either wanted to give up or you were nervous and didn't even want to start? What pushed you through?
I guess going back to my why, my goals, and how I want to impact and inspire. And, you know, I have this quote by my bed, and I can't think of, I have the author, but, you know, winners never quit and quitters never win. So, you know, you will never make the finish line if you give up. So I think that's what keeps me going in those moments of like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea how to start, but, you know, I have some ideas for some things that I want to bring to life too. And it's, you know, sometimes it's not, the how isn't up to you. It's having that vision, right? The how is not up to you. The universe will conspire to give you everything that you want, as long as you are willing to at least start taking action, and then all the pieces will fall into place.
I love that. The universe is always working out in your favor, 100%. And that vision, be clear about it. And I come back to like, be brave enough to suck at something new. I was painting this weekend, and I'm a very avid painter. I paint like every 6 months, and I go to not the paint nights where you all paint the same picture. I do love that element of like, here's what I want to paint. Please show me how. And the teacher or whomever is there, I get really great tips of like pulling out dimension or what steps to do first. And I gotta pump you just a second. And I was painting, and this gentleman came in, and he wanted to paint, and he was so nervous about starting. And it's kind of like this. It's like he has this vision of what he wanted to do, and he's just nervous about starting. And this isn't like a business, it's just something fun. But there's even that light of like, if you want to do something fun, maybe just start with something that isn't this lifelong passion. Just do something creative and fun, and just start, and be brave enough to suck at it. And that's okay.
I love it. I love it. And I think, sorry, I just had a tickle in my throat. And I think, when it comes to painting, because I've been in those paint classes where, everybody's painting the same thing. And then you look over and like, oh gosh, they did a really good job. And it's as simple as a little paint class that I think my girlfriend and I, it was like a glass of wine and a paint, right? Like we're just out there for fun. And I'm looking over, I'm like, man, they're like really good. But at the end, like I was happy with it, but maybe that inspires you to want to get better at it because maybe you weren't that great the first time. So it inspires you or encourages you to go back to that paint class or go back to do a live or go back to TikTok and do better and get better and really create that vision that you have for yourself. So it's not going to be perfect, but I encourage you to start. And I hope that you will try something new this week or start that project this week. And I hope you've enjoyed our Kickstart Your Week with Ali and Deb. And we will see you on Thursday and again next Monday live here on YouTube.